Hey friends, family, loved ones. I wanted to pop on really quickly and share a few things before, I start my fun day with my granddaughter. I have just a little bit of time before I get to babysit. And so wanted to kind of follow up and continue from some of the themes and topics that I was sharing in my last video a couple days ago. So we're in this full moon window. Super moon, it's been super intense in Capricorn, and just been observing different things that have been coming up for me in my internal and my external spaces. And the things that are coming up as invitations and blessings and challenges for me to strengthen and, help me temper the wisdom. And so, just receiving and working with this and playing with this and applying this into my own relationships and happenings within my own life, circumstances, situations. It has been really creative, a really creative practice and play. And sometimes I don't get it right away, and it's only like after like a certain interaction that I'm able to like see certain things about it, after I've had time to introvert and look into some things. Because sometimes when I'm with somebody and we're engaging in our old familiar styles and whatnot, sometimes it does take me a little bit afterward to like process some things of how did I really feel about this thing, or how much of it was an automatic reaction or just a familiar response, or did I slide into like a role unconsciously, or a persona or a character in certain ways, and why do I operate this way in certain relationships with certain people in my life, because I'm playing something out internally, and sometimes it's like totally unconsciously, but sometimes it is conscious, or sometimes it's a bit of both. Like I'm aware of it, but I'm not exactly sure like where it's coming from or what it's about. And so sometimes it is so helpful for me to like write down certain things that like I'm not very sure about, and I just like to discover or see into a little more, or just know more about. And so it is it is like I'm very curious about so many things, and so I'm always asking myself questions, and sometimes I do drive myself crazy by wanting to know everything. And so it's just like you just get to let that go sometimes, and embrace that mystery and that unknown, to open up and be receptive for love to show me what I really need to see. And so just been asking love to show me like what I need to see, and I'm trusting that I will receive everything like I need for my greatest growth and best possible well-being. And so I've been back home for a little bit from a trip, and there was a lot of things that I did. Oh my gosh, there was actually so many things that I've cleared and actually integrated through this whole process, actually, of like kind of preparing for the trip, getting ready for the trip. There's like certain things that I like to do in a particular order sometimes when I'm leaving my house. And one of the things like that I really like learned to do like in my 20s, I feel like, just so that I felt like good and I felt like ordered and structured and comfortable, was like I like to have a clean house, and I don't I don't want to come back from vacation to a dirty house and have like extra things to do. And so, yeah, it's just like been really super busy and sort of been a little challenging with prioritizing things and time management, like in certain ways. And that's why, like, I feel like I've been struggling a lot, like in certain ways with like time, like, is there time to do this? Do I have any time? And it's just like, you know what, don't worry about the time. And kind of just like let certain old limiting beliefs or old restrictions or things that constrict kind of go, like let some of my old beliefs about like what kind of time I have for what, like just let them all go and know that everything will flow if I am receptive and attentive and aware of, you know, in the moment. And like that doesn't mean that I'm not going to like prepare for anything, but it just means that I get to let myself off the hook with some of these old rigid ways of doing things, because sometimes like the only way that I felt like I could get certain things done was to light a fire under my butt to like get certain things done. But actually that's been like sort of counterproductive because that puts me in more resistance. And I was listening to a video the other day about letting go of resistance, and it really made a lot of sense to me and resonated strongly with me. And what she was saying was like anything done from a place of resistance actually doesn't serve the whole. I mean, we can force ourselves to do stuff, sure, but if it's coming from that place of like using force of will or something, it ultimately like doesn't really serve our best interests. I mean, sure, we can create and we can do things, but it is like a way to leak a lot of energy. And so like lately I've just been dropping a lot of old ego insistencies that it has to be done a certain way. And freeing up my energy that way so that I don't need to force anything, and I'm not leaking all this energy that I could use for like so many other joyful, creative, spontaneous, beautiful things. And so just appreciating like really the basics, going back to the basics, because everything's so convoluted sometimes, just kind of coming back to simplicity and just remembering like the basics of what is real and true and what matters, you know, to me, what I highly value, and what matters, like, what is dear to me, what is precious and dear and priceless to me. And that is like love and time spent with my family, and reciprocity and service, and joy, goodness, fun, beauty, just enjoyment of being present and being alive, and choosing the things that do contribute to life, and that are of love and life. And so I wrote a few things down in the last couple days and couple weeks, and I actually did start a new journal while I was on vacation. And so I have like this amazing sketchbook here that has so many beautiful nuggets and just so much that I processed in a few months, from March 22nd to June 25th. And so there's just so much in here that I get to come back to and refer to from everything that has come in for me to be with and integrate through my own ways. And I'm just super grateful, for all of the wisdom and the challenges and the blessings and the gifts that I have received. and I get to work with, and I get to expand on, and I get to refine and develop and weave into my own tapestry. And so, yeah, I will probably share a few things in the next little while, from these last few months, because there are so many different notes and so many so many things, so many gems and nuggets that really I so appreciate. And I just love this learning and getting to know myself and getting to know the voices within myself. And so then I can become aware of when something else comes in and it's not my energy, and it's not like of love, and it's not something that is like aligned with my well-being and what I want to choose for me. So it's been interesting to be able to get into that space of neutrality and recognize certain things that I do become aware of, and then broadcast or emit or emanate my own frequency and remember what is really true for me. And then I can access that, and it transmutes and transforms the other energy. And so it clears my space, and it helps me to be in a state of coherence rather than that divided polarity or either or separate duality. So it's helping me to unify everything within me, within myself, because that's what I can't do, and that's what I can change, and that's what I can focus on, and that's what I can create, regenerate, or recreate, or co-create. And that's how powerful we actually are when we do focus our thoughts and our emotions and our intentions and our attention, and they're all aligned and they're all in harmony. And that's how powerful we are and we can be with creating these things that do contribute to our wholeness, our wellness, our integrity, and our well-being. So there are certain things that do come up to show us where we're out of alignment or out of balance or out of harmony, or where there are excesses or deficiencies. And growth and expansion is if we're growing and expanding, we're always rebalancing for those areas that we're growing into. And so it's never static unless we're stagnant. Unless we're trying to avoid certain things, then we become stagnant. And those are a few things that I got to receive this week. So our inner and outer work, and that integration, application, transformation, right relation. How do we show up in the world, in our lives, in and through our relationships? What are our core relationships, and what roles do we play and play out in and through our relationships? And so I think those things are good things to ask ourselves. And also I was thinking about right relationship, right livelihood, and the eightfold path, the Buddhist wheel, the eightfold path. And I had done a bunch of different wheels a couple years ago, and I have this board here that I had written down some things. And so number 1 is right view. Number 2 is right intention. Number 3 is right speech. Number 4 is right action. Number 5 is right livelihood. And 6 is right effort. 7 is right mindfulness. And 8 is right concentration or meditation. And so I was just going to look at those a little bit more during this month, and see what I can receive around those things. because I do want to be in right relationship, and that's important to me. That doesn't mean that every relationship that I have, I'm going to please the other or be pleased myself. But I get to learn, and I get to practice living in truth and being true to myself. And sometimes these relationships show me where, I may have deceived myself, or I may not be totally being honest or accountable with myself, or accountable in certain relationships. And I don't have to beat myself up or judge myself for those things. I just get to go, oh wow, thank you for showing me what I didn't see before. Now I can see that, and can look into that and see what that's about, what parts of myself are asking for inclusion, forgiveness, integration, or acceptance. All those things. So, what else can I say that's been coming up for me? Oh yeah. So I have been feeling like super grateful and happy and joyful and really excited about everything that is possible, but it is a mixed bag too, going through like some of this residual grief and sorrow, and some of these old like wounds, hurts, resentments, and things that I held on to for so long that I wasn't aware that I was holding and carrying within me. And so I'm just kind of like, allowing that to be purged and cleansed and surrendered, like some of those. And every once in a while I'll catch myself, feeling really sad about certain things and about how certain things went. But like, it's okay for me to like just feel sorry without getting stuck in the story and of what I wanted to be, my expectations and everything. And just like allowing that part of me to feel sad about it, and then like it's to surrender to grace. And so opening, softening, and widening perspectives, practicing presence and centering, developing discernment and deepening trust in self, creator, love, and life, in the real and true that is felt within and unseen in unconventional ways. So, cock blocks, triggers, and silly things today. Surrender and letting go of control. The main energetic theme emerging right now is silence, stillness, and presence. The unseen is the realm of all possibility and what is and will be or shall be. The unseen is seen in and through unconventional ways. Let thine eye be single. And there are, those parts of the unseen that are, just never going to be seen. Because that's a part of the great mystery that cannot be seen. And so some of the things coming up for me, all of these old things that kept me from being one with me, that kept me in my cycle of perpetual conflict and suffering, conflict, dis-ease, and suffering, because always feeling like I had to fix something or make up for something or make something better for someone else, or take on something, and working with the martyr and the miser and all those things. So it's feeling this grief and sorrow around being exiled and silenced and shut down and devalued. Like that was like the most painful thing for me, was when I felt devalued and discarded, rejected, shoved down, stuffed down, shoved away, suppressed, repressed. And then I overcompensated for superiority and inferiority complexes, reflecting the inner imbalance and the tug of war, the projections of power and purity, and what was seen as not right to be, what was seen as wrong, sick, twisted, dirty, or shameful. Old distortions being cleared through a willingness to let go and allow them to be transformed through grace and acceptance, reclamation, forgiveness, accountability, and mercy, honoring the whole. And so there's a lot of forgiveness and a lot of really bringing in the witness, like to see certain things in a way that I'd never seen them before, so that I could make peace within me. Yeah. So, yeah. It's all about coming back into balance and into oneness and into wholeness, and knowing that I am whole, even if, I have certain self-doubts and questions come up, and just knowing that it already is. So letting go of control of what I think I know about anything, and choosing responsibility and communication, listening and reception. So opening, softening, widening perceptions, overriding old programs, and through neutralization, stepping out of judgments and old stories, and seeing where, like, I have agreed to participate in, like, that kind of self-destruction or violence toward the self, and being that tyrannical, like, prison guard that sometimes, like, the super ego, like, can be. And so be the change, practice, play, and embody awareness, accountability. Choose love for you and know it's all okay. Live the life that you love and create the life you want to live. Shine your light from within. Yes, love, live. And those were some messages that were coming up for me too, like, because there were some certain fears that I had about, like, going on, like, this journey, and because there's all these new things, and so sometimes, like, when we are expanding, it is a brand new thing, and it is kind of scary, and, like, yeah, it's just kind of fun to look at sometimes. But what I kept getting was yes, love, live. Just, yeah, let go of everything right now and live. Occupy the space where you are. Like, be here and live. Fully live. And so, yeah, just letting go of, like, all of those things, all those walls, all the armor, all the things that I've built around myself to protect myself. And that's really kind of uncomfortable sometimes too. And yeah, there's just certain patterns coming back or emerging again, just to help me test my new strength and my resolve. And also, like, to help me strengthen my faith and develop my trust that I have in myself, in life, and in my creator. And so, yeah, care, non-attachment, empathy, mercy, forgiveness, compassion, trust, devotion, humility, faith, surrender, receptivity, loving kindness, unity, peace, coherence, and clarity, power, freedom, and responsibility, choice, awareness, and accountability. A self-authored mindset, it is an empowered way to be. Knowing who I am frees me to be, frees love for me and we, it frees creative energy, it frees all of we, harmonizing and unifying all frequencies. And I watched a podcast July 5th, I think it was, and I picked up a couple of different things, which was perfect for me to see into, and it gives me a new term to work with called the socialized mindset. And so we're kind of breaking out of that conditioned mindset, of that, like, conform and comply, like, with this socialized structure that's kind of bullshit. And, like, how kind of had to adapt and survive, and got stuck in these strategies of people pleasing, perfectionism, and procrastination, which has to do with analysis paralysis and overthinking. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, that's where I've been stuck. So I've been trying my hardest, like, to, like, kind of transform some of these old patterns, but I just, because I'm such a giver, a caregiver, and I love I love being with people and I want to merge with the other. And I just want everything to feel good, of course. But it's just, yeah, really interesting to see certain things coming up like this for me. And it's just like, oh, that just makes just so much sense now. Like discovering some of these things, like where I was aware of certain things, but now I have like something to, like, kind of a frame of reference, to put it into, and just like a kind of a better understanding in certain ways of like some of these old patterns and strategies. And so I picked this nugget up from Dr. Sasha Heinz on Bellair, and it was kind of talking about getting unstuck out of a socialized mindset and developing mental resilience. And so I think that would be great, like for anyone. And I think she had just written a book, but I'll throw the description link, or the link in the description box. Yeah, and I might even like go back and listen to that one again. So yeah, there was some good nuggets. And so I always do super appreciate all these amazing game changers and people who are on their own inner journey and coming back out into the world to share what they've learned with others. And I love how we can all do that, and we all hold pieces and different pieces of the puzzle and different codes for each other. And I just think it's so amazing what we're all, like, in our own individual and collective ways, like, going through and transforming and letting go of, and actually opening to receive. And so it is kind of an exciting time, but it does feel really overwhelming. And then that's when we get to come back home to ourselves and surrender to what is, and like to the love that is within us, and love will lead the way. And so if there's anything else that wants to be shared. Gratitude, wonder, awe, enthusiasm, appreciation, joy, passion, love, happiness, and pleasure. Well-being, integrity, trust, faith, and grace, forgiveness, receptivity, curiosity, kindness, ease and peace, excitement, compassion, engaging with life, sharing love, joy, beauty, a soul-made life, a life lived in love. Yeah, love lived through life. True harmony, well-being, dwelling deeply, connected to the roots and the whole tree of life, reaching for the sky, dwelling deeply in community. You are with a friend now. Claim that heart star crown. Be extra kind and gentle with yourself this week. Remember to play. Remember not to take things so personally or so seriously. Humor, lightness, compassion, acceptance, open heart, open mind. Open being, opening, softening, letting go, and freeing myself. Practicing non-attachment, stepping out of judgment, fluid presence, flow. So, seeing that reality is quite different than it seemed. Seeing through old programs and agenda-driven hijackings, seeing through old stories, rules, beliefs, and seeing through old obstacles and hindrances, comparisons, judgments, grudges, walls, armor, masks, and complexes, the pain that I carried, and the love I withheld from myself. The knots and the tension, projected distortions and misperceptions, tangled cords, unconscious patterns and coping mechanisms, survival strategies, self-manipulation, conditioning and core wounding, and goal-oriented outcomes, false ideologies of domination and control. And so, what do I get to choose for myself? And just filling into some of these things that are here to assist me and help me with this transformational and transfigurational opportunity and invitation and energy. Just focus on the love that I have for creator, for creation, for myself, All is one. Merkaba, Heart Star Chariot, realigned, online, Christic Force. The 7-7 portal and 13 activations, full moon energy. Blue rose, red and purple, dragon and bighorn sheep. The threefold flame, yellow, blue, and pink. Chickens, eggs, cock, dragon, phoenix, ibis. Monkey, squirrel, swan, white dove, badger, red panda, dog, wolf, frog, hummingbird, quail, horse, falcon, hawk, vulture, robin, bee, ostrich, camel, elk, bear, and deer. I am here, love is here, life is here, so be here. And so some of those totems and the animals that were coming up for me, yeah, they've just been coming up in the most hilarious ways and like some really fun ways too. And so I'll just share like one little story about the red panda coming up for me. And so I've had like a lot of anxiety and a lot of nervousness around like being in a car on the road because I've experienced a lot of trauma. And I went through like a terrible car accident. It's been a while. It was at the end of 2007, but I know that I still was carrying trauma. And yeah, a lot of pain in my body, like from that experience. And so I do my best, like while, you know, being a passenger in a car, but sometimes I just get really nervous and shifty, and I have to like check my surroundings and scan for different things because I don't feel safe. And so I realized that like on this travel adventure my husband and I went on, that like there's this like I just don't know why I don't feel safe, like but like just kind of being willing to look into it and witness it when those feelings of fear and anxiety do come up. And I realized I could apply it to certain things in other areas of my life, like when I don't feel safe, like, and I kind of scan my surroundings to look for potential threats and stuff, and I see things like around me as all threats. And that was like interesting, like, because I really never really looked at it that way, like all these cars around me are these people that are driving these cars, you know, they're potential threats to me. And so kind of feel like I get closed off and constricted and in order to protect myself. And so I just practiced while I was in the car when I'd feel these feelings, like with that feel kiss flow, like allowing that feeling to be there and kissing it from the inside and letting it flow through me and all of that. And yeah, just repeating that. But then, yeah, at other certain times, it's just like, wow, like it didn't feel like I could like allow that. But just doing my best, you know. It's a work in progress and a work in practice, a work in play. And so I kind of got this funny image and this vision in my head because, yeah, it was just something funny, like that one of my snarky aspects of myself was just kind of, yeah, playing with. It's just like, just kind of making light or making fun of one of my loved ones that I felt like was really, really, really rigid. And it was just like, release that spirit animal. It's clenched between your butt cheeks, you know. And then I realized, oh, I probably have one of those too. One of those spirit animals clenched between my butt cheeks. And I got a vision of that on the way, you know, on the way home, of a red panda stuck between, you know, my clenched butt cheeks and saying, oh, please, please release me. And it was just like the funniest thing that just made me laugh and laugh and laugh, and just like it melted like that other resistance and that those fears and that anxiety away. And I just realized I was taking myself so seriously, and I remembered, oh yeah, I am everything, and I'm connected to this vastness all around me of all the seen and everything that I can't see. And it's just amazing, like being on this road trip and seeing like everything that was surrounding me. And yeah, and then getting that little vision and just being able to laugh and kind of, yeah, get over myself to get through to myself, and actually see what I was actually afraid of pain, of death, of more suffering, in certain ways because of, the trauma and anxiety that was still kind of stuck. This energy that was stuck in some of my, in my physical body and other various bodies. And so I kind of was just led to like explore this further, and started to see the other people on the road around me as friends, because I'm remembering that now. You're with a friend now. And I would just when I'd feel the spirit come up too, I would bless everyone around me, and bless, me and my husband. And may you be happy, may you be well, may you be safe, may you be held, may you receive everything you need, and safe travels, my friend. And like that just felt really good to do, instead of seeing them as a threat, but still being aware, and still using discernment and stuff, but not automatically seeing like everything around me as a threat, like, because I was kind of unconscious and didn't really realize that, like, obviously, like some people on the road you can see they're sketchy a little bit, not paying attention and whatnot, but like, it was like really great, a way to transform and neutralize like some of this for me. And so maybe I'll share a little bit next time, but thanks for listening. I love you. I hope you're well. I hope you're choosing love for yourself. All right. I'll talk to you later, and I'll see you for now. Bye.